G'day guys, welcome back. Welcome to Pouring Your Heart Out. My resin has just got to about 30 degrees Celsius and then I decanted. I'm doing a 3D bloom if you haven't already guessed. 25 grams in there for my white, 20 grams in there for my gold and 20 grams in there for my bluey colour. And the rest of it is going into the centre. I am using the Let's Resin Fast Cure resin. It's a 1-to-1. It's nice and thick, so you don't have to wait too long for your resin to thicken up. Those of you that are relatively new to 3D blooms, you need to use a thick resin, otherwise your white pigment paste just sinks and then you get blobbies on the other side. So that's why we wait. I do wait until it's a little bit thicker. As it sits, it gets thick and it also gets warm. So at about 30 degrees Celsius, I start sort of decanting. All right, now I'm going to use this little flower for my center. I might just actually put a little bit of, spray a bit of alcohol over here on the side so that I'm not getting it into my mold. I'm going to put a little bit of resin just on the top, and then hopefully when I flip it upside down it won't trap too many air bubbles. That's the plan anyway. So I'm doing sort of aqua blue and gold today, and I'm going to pick it up in this with my little tweezers because I don't want too much resin on my gloves. Push that down. Right, let's make sure that it's centered. So I'm going to look at that point, and it needs to be halfway, which it's not, and then I'm going to look at this point and this point. Hopefully that's halfway. A little torch. Now I am going to just pick these bubbles out along the edges here. It's always these little areas here on all of them. They trap bubbles. Just pick them out. And then when they float up to the surface, we can either remove them or we can just torch them. But yeah, each side of that little point, there's a bubble. So weird, so weird. Oh gosh. All right, let's just get them. Make sure that you're not putting your flame near your mold, otherwise you will fuse your mold to your resin. Who's done it? Hands up. Me, I've done it. Don't mind my mark there. It's nothing ominous. One of the puppies just scratched me. Put your hands down in the morning and say hello to everyone, and they jump up and they scratch. So hasn't broken the skin, so don't be concerned. I know a lot of you, whenever I've got like a puppy scratch, they go, oh, you should go and get that checked. But it's just a puppy scratch, though. Appreciate everyone's thoughts on the matter. All right, now in the center, just over the top of that little blue flower, I'm going to put some cerulean from Let's Resin. Put it in the middle. I don't know, actually probably won't put it in the middle because it's oh gosh, I need to poke a hole in the top. I must have resined it over at some stage. I'll just put a needle down there. Now sometimes you get a bit close to the resin and then, oh gosh, it's a bit much there. Yeah, so I probably dipped it in resin at some stage. All right, we'll just let that sit there for a minute. Now I've got 20 grams in here of my resin, so I'm going to put in 2 drops of my bloom pigment paste. Give it a squeeze, wait for the drop to come to the nozzle there, let go of your pressure so that you don't get a whole heap. 1, squeeze again, wait for it to come to the tip and let go of your pressure and just let it drop in. So that's 2. Give that a wipe. All right, so that'll be stirred around in there. I'll give them a good stir off camera so I'm not wasting time. Now over here, I've got 2 golds. I've got the interference gold, which is a nice light pale gold, and I've got the darker floating gold as well. I haven't used all this up. Oh, too late now. It's only a little bit left, a little drizzle. I haven't filled the mold all the way. It's only, I used 125 grams of part A and 115 grams of part B. So it's not filled up all the way. I'm going to have to swirl that, aren't I? That's resin. Resins are very highly concentrated, so they don't have as much alcohol in them, so they don't spread like some of the, you know, the cheaper brands, which is good in a way because, you know, you're getting good value for money. A little bit of the floating gold, probably half the amount of the interference gold. And I'll have a look at that and see if I want to add any more. So little tiny tip with the floating gold and a little bit bigger with the interference gold. That looks nice. Just move those out of the way. And then the same with the blue. I've got the pigment powder in a duo aqua blue and some silver floating pigment powder. So I'll do the same thing, a little bit there, move that out of the way, and then the silver. I'm not sure where this came from actually, Quicksilver. It hasn't got a company name on it. We'll see how those two go. All right, I will stir everything up and come back to you. I better swirl this. Yeah, I just thought I'd have a little bit of extra blue in the center. It's not spreading all that well though. I might go and get one of the other alcohol inks. Turquoise from Deco Rom. So this one's more, it's got more alcohol in it, so that tends to spread a little bit more. Just give that a mix, bit of a stir around. Okay, all right, let's do this. I'm just going to pipe straight out of my little cups today, and I'm going to do spirals. All right, let's do this. Let's do it. Put that there. Okay, now I'm going to pinch and basically just going to do some circles. Now you want your line to be relatively thick. If you do a really thin line, it's not thick enough to spread into a pretty bloom. If you make it too thick, it'll be too heavy and it'll sink. So basically just have a bit of a practice. Whoa, fly just flew by. Did you see that? Oh my gosh. Okay, I think that's looking relatively thick enough. So what have I got? 1, 2, 3, 4 lines. All right, now we'll go with the, actually I'll go with this one next so I can finish with the gold a bit closer to the center. And look, it doesn't matter if, you know, it's overlapping a little bit. Your blooms are going to be gorgeous regardless. So don't worry too much if your colours are overlapping here, if you haven't left enough room for one of your colours. Won't matter. It's that one. I'll put a little bit more white just up here. Come out, white, come out. I wonder if I can go a little bit closer. Probably shouldn't. Gosh, all right, there we go. And the gold. Out you come. You can see the resin's relatively thick now. Just got to make sure that I'm not going too fast with my cup, because if you pull the cup really fast around, you're going to end up with a really thin little line, aren't you? So you just have to be aware of that. Especially as your resin gets thicker. You're going to make sure that you're pulling your little line relatively slowly so that you're getting a thick line. And if you notice that it's really not quite as thick as you'd like, you can just go over it again. Just remember that the gold is heavier, so you may not want it to be too thick. I'm just going to put a little bit more blue just in here, aqua-y colour. Come on, it's getting thick now, does not want to flow very well. Okay, and oops, that's the white. Maybe just a little bit more gold just up here to balance that out. And if you'd prefer to use a stick, you can. But like I said, the resin's getting really quite thick now. Okay, alrighty, so that's that done. Just cleaning off my little sticks here. Use them again. Like so, put them to the side. Alright, so now what we're going to do is, I'll give it a quick little torch just to get some of those surface bubbles up that have appeared. Let's see if I can put, see this white over here, it's gone a bit thin. I'm going to see if I can put a bit more white just along here where it's kind of breaking up a little bit. Not sure why that happens. Some bits do, some bits don't. I have no idea why. I'll have to work on it. Oh, there goes that fly again. Did you see him? Nerve of him. You just wait. I'll get you. I'll get you, my pretty. All right, here we go. A little bit more white. Just filling in my areas there that I think could do with a little bit more of something. I think we're about right. Almost done here. I don't know why I'm adding so much. There we go. All right, that one's done. Let's just leave it now. Clean off that stick. Clean off my gloves. What's that? It's the isopropyl alcohol. I've got it in one of those, you know, those liquid soap dispensers that you put your hand under and it gives you a shot of soap. Well, it gives me a shot of isopropyl so I can clean my gloves because it was a bit sticky from the cup. All right, so now I'm just going to make sure that I've going around and just smoothing out any bumps and lumps, blobs. Okay, so this mold, this is my Mystique mold, and it's really great for 3D blooms, especially if you're new to it, because where the points are, you drag out. Where the points come in, you put your stick in. So yeah, put your left leg in, put your left leg out. That's what it reminds me of, hey. All right, so we're going to start from the center, and we're going to come out. I'm probably putting my stick, that one, this probably weren't very deep. Going about halfway, the depth of the resin, about halfway down, just to give it really good movement. Don't drag your paper towel in your piece. This is just a little silicone brush, and it's nice. It's got a point on the end. I like that, how it's got the point on the end. And then where all the points point in, we are going to run in like so. Nice and easy. Told you it was easy. Blooms really are quite easy. And look, I struggled with them too when I started. I didn't realize that, you know, I had to wait for the resin to thicken up. When I started the 3D blooms, I was using a 2-to-1 resin, and it was platinum ultra clear or Platinum 360 Plus, so a lot thinner than this. With the Ultra Clear, I had to wait like about 50 minutes for it to thicken enough. But yeah, this one's really good because you don't have to really wait very long at all. All right, so there we go. That's looking really pretty, isn't it? Looking really pretty. Hopefully it'll look pretty on the other side. All right, I think my hands are clean enough to touch my phone. Let me get you down. You can have a little look and see the bloom. So the blue and the gold mixed together kind of make like a greeny color, and then we've also got the sort of duo green blue. It's a color, sort of a color changing. I think it is. It changes, or it just looks different from different angles. I'm just going to get my heat gun out and just give it a little bit of heat, just on low. It's this machine here. Whoops, shaking you. I just want to make sure that everything's moving well. And you're just trying to hold your heat gun horizontally. You don't want to point down, you're trying to hold it horizontally and really push those petals in. Again, don't do it too much because we've waited so long for the resin to thicken. You don't want to ruin all your good work and make your resin too thin, and then you know, your white or your metallics will drop straight through. Your gold is going to be the gold and your white are going to be the heaviest. This one's Archery Creations Rich Gold, and your Bloom Pigment Paste. So they're going to be the heaviest. So you got to not use very much of those at all. Duo Aqua Blue, so it kind of looks different in different lights. So yeah, that's me done. I'm going to cover it and hopefully it will bloom beautifully. I might just put another little, I can still see some colour there. I'm going to put a little couple of drops just so that I've got blue in the centre. We'll see how that goes. All right, I'm going to cover it with the food net, and we'll see you in probably 6 hours or so for the top coat. Wish me luck. Okay, so it has cured enough for me to put the top coat on, and I've just decided to go with some black. So a bit of black pigment paste, and here we go. So again, I just push from the outside, towards the outside, and let the resin make its own way in. Don't put too much in to begin with, unless you know exactly how much you can add. I've got 50 grams of A. This is the Platinum 360 Plus, because it'll cure at about the same time as the layer underneath, because it cures pretty quickly. So I've got 50 grams of A and 22 grams of B, or maybe 23, something like that. And yeah, they should all cure together. Just make sure that goes into all the little points there. Probably use most of this, I think, and then that's pretty much it. I will see you when it's time to unmold. I'll just make sure that I've got into all the little points. I'll use my toothpick and just push it into all the little points like so, and I think that's pretty much it. So anything I've got left over, then I'll just pour into the middle. And give it a, you can either give it a quick little torch, or you can spray with some isopropyl alcohol to pop the bubbles. Again, I would only do it on the bottom. I wouldn't do this if it was going to be a top coat, because it, well, to me it leaves like a watermark type thing. Now once you've sprayed with alcohol, don't go ahead and use your torch, because the alcohol's obviously flammable and it'll all flame up. So wait till your alcohol has all been evaporated if you want to torch. But I think that's pretty much it. I can add a tiny bit. I do like to fill my molds just so that I don't get that lip. You know when you unmold and you get that sharp lip? If that's happening to you, just fill your molds a little bit more so that they kind of rounded, and then you won't get that lip because the resin kind of shrinks a bit as it cures, pulls in, so you get that little lip on the edge like that. So anyway, I will see you in about 4 hours for the unmolding. All right, I think it is cured enough for me to unmold. I've had it in my food dehydrator to try and warm it up a little bit to get it cured enough for me to unmold. So let's have a little look. Oh gosh, I hope it's gonna work. I hope it's gonna be pretty. Now I will link my Mystique tray mold for you down in the description if you'd like to get that one. All right, I've got some weird thing happening on the top there. I think it might be from my I don't know, I sprayed it with alcohol and then I hit it with the torch, so it might have just reacted a bit. Anyway, it's the back. We don't care, do we? We want to see what the front looks like. Okay. Oh, please work. Ooh, love it. It is gorgeous. Very happy with it. I'm going to have to take you outside or across over there to the other side of the room so that you can see the shimmer. Now, it's definitely not as sort of dark and bold as my previous one was with the, gosh, what did I use? Purple and copper. I did want this one a little bit more delicate looking. Love my little flower. It matches really pretty too, doesn't it? All right, let's go across the other side of the room. Zoom out a little bit so that I can hold on to it for you. All right, try not to push any buttons I'm not supposed to push or drop it. It's always so tricky to hold on to it with one hand. Okay, here we go. We'll go across here. Have a little look at it in this light. You can see a little bit of shimmer happening there. Look at the blue. It's just poking through there. And that gorgeous pale gold. See, I wanted the pale gold. That's why I mixed it with that sort of creamy interference gold. And then added a little bit of the floating gold as well. Really like how we've got that turquoise in the middle. And yeah, the center, like the center's really pretty, isn't it? It's no big blobs or anything. It's closed up nicely. Yeah, very symmetrical. All right, oh, I can see some sunshine poking through the window. Let's get down here. Oh my gosh. Get down onto the ground. Onto the ground. Let me just move this out of the way. Okay. There we go. That's it in the light and the sunshine. Really pretty. What do you think? Do you like that one? So you don't have to do bold colours all the time. You can do nice, pretty, delicate looking blooms if you want to. Really pretty. All right. Happy with that. So thank you so much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed my video. Do you want to see more or are you done? You done with the blooms? Look, it takes a bit of practice. I practiced for months and months before I could get it right. But look, you've got me to help you. You just follow my videos, follow along. Tells you how long to wait, you know, temperature to get to and all that sort of thing. So make some notes and yeah, stick to one resin, a thick resin, a 1:1 resin. The Let's Resin 4-hour is perfect for this. And yeah, just keep practicing. You will get there. You will. And I'd love to see what you do. All right, thanks again for watching. I'll see you all again real soon for the next one. Take care. Bye for now.